हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल ट्रैवल विद प्रजेश। और मैं हूं प्रजेश फैंसी, इस चैनल का होस्ट और आपका दोस्त। और आज मैं आपको अपने साथ लेके जा रहा हूं फिगरेडो मेंशन, जो कि 400 ईयर्स ओल्ड इंडो पोर्चुगीज मेंशन है, जो कि बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है और गोवन हेरिटेज का एक अहम हिस्सा है। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का सफ़र।
So my name is as I said, Pedro Figueiredo. I'm now the owner of this house. So guys, please like and subscribe, Travel with Prajesh. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you get to see all the things that it's going to show you in these future videos because they're all around amazing. Thank you so much guys.
तो फ्रेंड्स, इस वक्त हमें मडगांव में, और मडगांव से फिगरेडो मेंशन का डिस्टेंस लगभग 12 किलोमीटर है, जो कि लोटलिम विलेज में आता है, जो साउथ गोवा में आता है। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का सफ़र। तो हम पहुंच चुके हैं लोटलिम विलेज, और मेरे पीछे चर्च है और जिसका नाम है सेवियर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड चर्च, जो कि बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल चर्च है और काफ़ी ओल्ड चर्च है। और यहाँ से फिगरेडो मेंशन का डिस्टेंस सिर्फ 2 किलोमीटर है। तो चलिए चलते हैं फिगरेडो मेंशन। तो फ्रेंड्स, फाइनली हम पहुंच चुके हैं फिगरेडो मेंशन। तो चलिए एक्सप्लोर करते हैं इस जगह को। फिगरेडो हाउस को 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया गया है। फर्स्ट, इसमें एक म्यूजियम है। सेकंड, इसमें एक प्राइवेट एरिया है जहां इस प्रॉपर्टी के ओनर खुद स्टे करते हैं। एंड थर्ड पार्ट है जो इसका होम स्टे प्रॉपर्टी है, जहां आप भी बुकिंग करके रह सकते हैं। तो अब हमारे साथ जुड़ने वाले हैं मिस्टर पेड्रो फिगरेडो, जो कि इस प्रॉपर्टी के ओनर है, और वो इस प्रॉपर्टी के बारे में हमें और डिटेल में इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे।
So my name is as I said, Pedro Figueiredo. I'm now the owner of this house, me along with my mother. And this is a 430-year-old house which has been in my family since its construction, and that we're trying to maintain basically to show that Goa is a little bit more than the beaches and the parties which happen in the north, and that there's a lot of culture too. So basically we're trying to pass down a little bit of that Goa's heritage as well as our family history throughout, well, as many people as we can. And so this house is basically composed of all around Hindu-Portuguese furniture which is made in Goa as well from Portuguese colonies. So it shows Goa as one of the center trading points in India at those times in the 1800s. So even we have a lot of Chinese, Japanese, Mozambican, British, French pieces all around, which were acquired all around throughout this time. And so we want to show all around this to the people as much as we can. So we are originally Hindus. Our family's name was the Podiars, and we came from Santual in the 1590s. At the time we had to leave San Paulo to a bubonic plague, and we came to Loutolim as we were one of the biggest landlords in South Goa. So we had a lot of income coming from the properties all around, which gave for the other side of the house, which is 430 years old. At the time when we came here, that's when we converted to Christianism, and a noble family itself gave us the name Figueiredo. And 200 years after, in the 1790, one of my great-great-great-grandfathers, he basically wanted to expand the house. Therefore, having all this space which we've now made into the museum, the Belgian crystal chandeliers, there's openings on the ceilings and on the flooring for air circulation. So the Jesuit priests were the ones who actually did this expansion, and they were normally sons or daughters of noble families. So basically they had a lot of knowledge into the architecture, into making such an exquisite kind of a room. That's why we decided to open this now as a museum. And all of these pieces, you know, they revert us back to another time, and my great-grandfather's action made it all of these pieces were possible to be here. So he passed away in 1959, but he was the one who he inherited this side and bought the other side to leave it to one person only. So there would be no disputes among the families. All the house, all its contents as well. And he left it for the first time to a lady, my grand-aunt, Georgina Figueiredo. She was the first lady to inherit this house, and she was the first lady judge in the High Court in Bombay. So once she basically inherited the house in 59, she left the High Court to come maintain this house. And now basically it's, well, our turn in this case. My grandmother, she was helping my grand-aunt since 91, and since my grand-aunt was never married, never had kids, the house was left to her. And now she's still in the house, but nowadays she's 91 years old. So it makes it harder for her to maintain the house since it's all around 5,000 square meters. And well, 91 is not an easy life. And so basically me and my mother in 2014 decided to join my grandmother and to restore all around the house, bring it to its former glory, let's say, and in a way be able to continue this and make it self-sustainable for the future generations. Because since it's been maintained by our forefathers for a long time, it's our time basically to do, well, our part into this huge work that is the Figueiredo house. This is a very special piece because two reasons. One, they have an individual lock, individual key for each of the drawers. Secondly, they were only made in the Portuguese colonies. So they had the craftsmanship from whatever colony they were made in the Portuguese ideal. Now, this is from the 17th century and it was made here in Goa. All of this is ivory, rosewood and teakwood. Every little piece has been inlaid. It took 3 years to be made, around 4,000, 5,000 hours of marquetry. And there's only 3 pieces like this in the world. One donated by our family to the Victoria and Albert Museum, one in the Portuguese Embassy in England, and this one here. We donated the one to the Victoria and Albert Museum, so this is the Naga, the man on a serpent's body. We used to have the Nagini, the woman on a serpent's body. Okay. And this is the only of the 3 pieces which has the lions on the feet. So you understand that if one single piece has this value, I can explain every single piece and you can understand what we're trying here to protect all around the way. All of these chairs you can see here on this side are basically from a Hindu chair there with Hindu mythology engraved on it, a church chair from the olden times. These 2 chairs are leather chairs. The leather chairs basically are very traditionally Portuguese. As you can see here, basically the back all around is all leather, the seat is all leather, and it would be the woman and the man's chair. The woman wouldn't have armrests, she would just cross her legs and put her hands on the legs itself. Small little details which, well, only happen in the olden times. And even these spots you see all around are the spittoons, or the chewing tobacco at the time. So this is what they use to basically chew on it, and then that's why it's in between each 2 seats. So this is an older piano, it's a German piano nowadays. Only a few keys work, unfortunately. This is a Stuttgart. It was made in Germany but sold in India by the Hayden Koi Karachi, while Karachi was still part of India before 47. This is from 1920, and basically at the time they used to make all of this with wood but with ivory on top. So that's why it's been now still under repairs, but it was very antique and we're looking forward to at some point restoring it. It used to have the candle holders, the little spot for your music sheet, and it's by Sean Digger and Johan. And well, It's one of the olden things which this room used to be the music room. So its echoes through these walls would be something to die for all around. So basically this is the room where we have the dining. We have the lunches, high teas and dinners organized here, as well as wedding receptions and any kind of events here, even shootings. And basically this is a room where it has the tables for the past 130 years. So all of these tables come together to make a really large table which has fitted 100 people seated. And all of this is still the original hand painting from 230 years ago. You've got on top a motif which is basically the representation of the arrival of Vasco da Gama to Calicut. You have basically the boat, which is the Nau, N-A-U. There is a mermaid on a wave, which is basically a symbol of the seafaring mythology, as well as the bird. The bird symbolizes the arrival. So basically once on the Portuguese seafaring back in those days, they used to release a dove. If it came back, that means there was no land. If it didn't come back, that means there would be land somewhere around. That's how they used to find land at those times. The bird would be hungry, so it would be looking for another food supply. If it didn't find it, like an island or a land, whatever, he would come back for the boat where they would give them food. So that's how it used to work. And you know, it still passes a lot of memories of how it used to be the Portuguese and about their arrival, about all around their expedition throughout Goa, throughout India, and well, during their discovery times. So this here is the chest that they used to take the clothes all around on their travels, the ladies, the men, whoever it was. And it's interesting because before the 1900s, they didn't have any feet. So they used to make this kind of custom-made feet, which this is a sign of servitude. It's the man on an animal's body, so the man would work like an animal. They used to do this kind of symbolisms as to feel superior. So you normally have animals, you have hands, you have all around paws, just considering the superiority of the families over other beings, that how the furniture at the time used to have this kind of relation. Basically here, this is the prayer room, as you can see, and all of these four pieces are all Indo-Portuguese. I'd like to explain a little bit of Indo-Portuguese, as Hindus used to make most of the craftsmanships and put some of their traits like the lotus flower or their mythology. The Portuguese came and influenced on their own personal details. There are the seafaring designs, the Christian designs, as well as the flower designs. These are all Portuguese styles, and this was a custom-made piece to suit all of these styles. And on top, you have the Saint Anne, which is the mother of the Virgin Mary and the patron of this house, as well as around her chair, as well as in the frame in front. It's wooden but gold plated. And I normally like to show this baby Jesus here, as normally this was given to the oldest daughters of the house when they got married. But the Hindus used to make them. They didn't know what baby Jesus looked like, so they used to make it with the face of baby Krishna. As you see, he's got the finger on the mouth because he was stealing the curd, as well as he's got Indian jewelry. It shows a little bit about the unique mix between the Indo-Portuguese all around, which makes the true Goan culture alive, is this mix of cultures. Even the Muslim used to do most of the tiling. They used to put all of the tiles with some designs, Portuguese, Italian designs all around, which again creates a unique mix to Goa itself. And this room, it's where the Latinies or the processions all used to happen. So it used to be very close to the entrance, so they would come and they would go without going through the house. And still nowadays we still keep those traditions, and well, we hope that they continue after we're not here as well. So guys, this is a very traditional thing, which is the Rosangon. It was basically initially, this concept of the inner courtyard was initially created by the Romans. They used to have tiles for training, social engagement. It was developed by the Muslims and Hindus as a garden because the women at the time, they couldn't go outside. So they would have these courtyards to go outside, inside the house. Later on, here in Goa actually, it was even used sometimes for the arranged marriage. You would have the family here on top where I am, and basically the couple passing around in the middle. And so the family would be supervising, saying no touching, no kissing, no doing anything basically. And all around on top also you have the openings for the air circulation, as well as the openings for the underneath circulation, which basically, due to the agglomerate of people you would have for the events on this side, you would have this extra circulation so that it would always be cool due to the high humidity that happens in Goa all around.
तो फ्रेंड्स, इस प्रॉपर्टी के जो ओनर है मिस्टर पेड्रो, ये उनके ग्रैंडफादर का बेडरूम है, जो कि आप देख सकते हैं बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है। और इस बेडरूम को अभी भी वैसे ही रखा गया है जैसे ये पहले हुआ करता था, जब उनके ग्रैंडफादर इस बेडरूम को यूज़ किया करते थे। और आप देख सकते हैं कि इस बेडरूम के लेफ्ट साइड में एक बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल चाइनीज़ पेंटिंग है, और नीचे आप देख सकते हैं कि पोर्चुगीज ट्रंक है, बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है। और इस रूम का इंटीरियर बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से किया गया है, जिसमें आप पोर्चुगीज और गोवन कल्चर की एक झलक देख सकते हैं।
So this here is a Banari sari, which was worn by my grandmother when in 65 until 69. So basically when she was invited by Salazar, who was a dictator slash prime minister in Portugal, to be the first lady as a representative of Goa in the Portuguese parliament. So at the time she was fighting for Goan rights, for people from Goa to be able to go to Portugal, people from Portugal to be able to come back to Goa. And in the first day, she used the sari to show her Indian roots, since she was fighting for their cause. And it's what makes it a bit more special, that's made in pure silk and the brocade, the gold weaving, which nowadays is very hard to find. And it's a proudful moment for us, at least, to say that now that I am here in this house, I was born in Portugal, but my grandmother is Goan, but to know that even though she moved to Portugal for a few years, she still kept going her heart, and she was still trying to fight for those who remained here as well as for those who were there with her.
तो फ्रेंड्स, ये थे मिस्टर पेड्रो फिगरेडो, जो कि इस प्रॉपर्टी के ओनर हैं, और उन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से प्रिसाइसली इस मेंशन के बारे में एक्सप्लेन किया है। उन्होंने इस मेंशन की हिस्ट्री के बारे में बताया है, अपने एंसेस्टर के बारे में बताया है, और इस घर के ब्यूटीफुल आर्किटेक्चर के बारे में बताया, जो कि लगभग 400 साल पुराना है, जिसको उन्होंने अभी तक बहुत ही खूबसूरती से संभाल के रखा है। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो फ्यूचर जनरेशन है उसे इस कल्चर को जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो फ्रेंड्स, ये है इस प्रॉपर्टी का होम स्टे रूम, जो कि बहुत ही पीसफुल और बहुत ही खूबसूरत है। और कुछ ही दिन पहले इस रूम में तापसी पन्नू ने स्टे किया था, जो कि बॉलीवुड सेलिब्रिटी है। और इस हाउस में अक्सर बॉलीवुड शूटिंग होती रहती है, मराठी मूवी, बॉलीवुड मूवी, सभी टाइप की मूवी यहाँ शूट होती है। जैसे करण जौहर का यहाँ पे दी कोस्ट स्टोरी मूवी शूट हुआ था, इसी हाउस में शूट हुआ था। और इस हाउस में आप रुकने के लिए इसे ऑनलाइन बुक कर सकते हैं, जिसका वेबसाइट है figueiredohouse.com, जिस पर जाकर आप इसे बुक कर सकते हैं। तो जब भी आप गोवा में और आपको पीसफुल प्लेस में स्टे करना है, तो आप ये यहाँ पे अपना वैकेशन प्लान कर सकते हैं। तो इस होम स्टे प्रॉपर्टी में टोटल 9 रूम है, और हर रूम को इन्होंने फिगरेडो फैमिली ने अपने फैमिली मेम्बर्स के नाम पे रखा है। तो फ्रेंड्स, ये है इस प्रॉपर्टी का बार एरिया। तो जब आप यहाँ पे इस प्रॉपर्टी में स्टे करते हैं तो आप ये बार यूज़ कर सकते हैं। और उसके अलावा भी आप यहाँ पे बुकिंग कर सकते हैं अपनी पार्टी के लिए, बर्थडे पार्टी, सेलिब्रेशन, या कोई भी पार्टी हो आपको, या कोई भी इवेंट हो, आप उसके लिए इस प्रॉपर्टी को बुक कर सकते हैं। तो इस प्रॉपर्टी में एक अच्छा स्विमिंग पूल भी है। पूल को जब यहाँ स्टे करते हैं तब भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं। अगर आप यहाँ स्टे नहीं कर रहे, उसके अलावा भी आप इस स्विमिंग पूल का बुकिंग कर सकते हैं। इस स्विमिंग पूल का पूल पार्टी के लिए भी बुकिंग कर सकते हैं। और यहाँ पे बार फैसिलिटी भी अवेलेबल है, जो कि मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही दिखाया आपको। तो यहाँ पार्टी करने के लिए सभी फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल है। और ये मेंशन अंदर से जितना खूबसूरत है उतना ही खूबसूरत है बाहर से भी। जैसे कि आप देख सकते हैं मेरे पीछे कितना खूबसूरत नज़ारा है। तो जब भी आप इस प्रॉपर्टी पे स्टे करते हैं तो आप या इवनिंग और मॉर्निंग वॉक पे भी जा सकते हैं, जो कि बहुत ही पीसफुल जगह है। तो फ्रेंड्स, ये था हमारा फिगरेडो मेंशन ब्लॉग। आई होप आप लोगों को ये वीडियो पसंद आए, और जाने से पहले इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें मेरा चैनल ट्रैवल विद प्रजेश। और जल्दी मिलते हैं हम एक नए वीडियो के साथ। थैंक यू।